So Brandon Marshall, who hosts First Things First alongside Nick Wright, and also I believe Jenna Wolf is a moderator there, but I really consider her as a host as well as Wiley over there, Kevin Wiley. He's no longer going to rejoin and re-up with Fox Sports 1 and continue being the host at First Things First. He's moving on, and he's pursuing other endeavors, such as having his own show. The executive producers, and including Jada Pinkett Smith of Red Table Talk, they're gonna spawn a new show around Brandon Marshall, and Brandon Marshall is going to be really focusing on mental health, on today's athletes. He's been talking about this ever since he was a player, and I can remember back in his New York Jet times as a wide receiver and the Denver Broncos, and he also suffered dealing with this, and he wasn't the main reason, but the NFL started having Mental Awareness Month, celebrating that particular month, or I forget, I think it's Mental Health Month or Day, whatever the case. The NFL also celebrated alongside Brandon Marshall, bringing awareness to mental health. And Brandon Marshall was always a pioneer about this, particularly with breast cancer, how the NFL would gravitate to having awareness for that. He also wanted the NFL to have mental health awareness. So anywho, Brandon Marshall was a crusader of this, and he brought this along with him when Fox Sports 1 signed him to be hosting and pairing alongside Nick Wright to do First Things First. And a quick timeline. Chris Carter was Nick Wright's, him and Nick Wright hosted First Things First. And we all knew what happened to Chris Carter. He got into a confrontation with upper management. They proceeded to fire him, and then they was looking for a replacement. And depending on who you get your sources from, some sources believe that Nick Wright penciled Brandon Marshall in as a replacement for Chris Carter. You have other sources that are saying that Fox Sports 1 has always been eyeing Brandon Marshall, but whatever the case may be, he landed at First Things First, and he was a host to alongside Nick Wright. And if you haven't watched First Things First, it's sort of like a semi-debate show. They have a bunch of topics, and they give you guys their opinions on each topic. And they have a small gathering, a small fan base that comes and supports the show. Me personally, and I feel like a lot of people, a majority of people, are in this same lane of, it's just a show that you would watch and wait until Undisputed comes on or First Take comes on. All right. As I'm not a huge, I don't watch Undisputed or First Things First or First Take exclusively each and every day. Every once in a while, if I'm by the TV, that would be my format, and that's how I would watch the shows. But anywho, Brandon Marshall was a host over at First Things First, replacing Chris Carter. Now, his contract was up. I believe his contract was going to be up at the end of this month, or was it last month? I seem to forget. I apologize for that. And he's moving on to do other things. Now, why did Brandon Marshall chose to go with Jada Pinkett Smith and the executive producers of Red Table Talk? Why would he? And I believe this show is going to be premiering on Facebook, just like Red Table Talk, be exclusively there. And Brandon Marshall also has that. He's also a host of I Am an Athlete. That's a YouTube channel. He's always there as well. He's going to be a busy guy, so he's not going to lose any money or any sleep. He's going to be employed. Okay. And you're probably wondering, why did he chose to pursue that avenue instead of just re-signing at Fox Sports 1. I feel like this is a mutual agreement between Fox Sports 1 and Brandon Marshall. They wouldn't mind re-signing Brandon Marshall, but they were not going to. If he do sign, he was going to have to lose. It wasn't going to be a pay up. It would have probably been a little bit less than negotiated, and Brandon Marshall had a decision to do. He could have easily done the Red Table Talk show, as well as sign over there at First Things First. Continue being the host at First Things First, just like he does with I Am an Athlete, and he has his own pod show and things of that nature. It would have been a very busy, productive day, but he would have been just like Stephen A. Smith, trying to, juggle all of these responsibilities, and Brandon Marshall could have easily done that. But I felt like when I say it's mutually decided that Fox Sports 1 and Brandon Marshall decided to break their relationship, I feel like both sides were at this juncture anyway. Fox Sports 1 is in the same predicament as ESPN and NBC Sports, CBS Sports, all the alphabet leather sports network show, where 10 years ago, sports entertainment was at the front page, okay? It was the beginning and the end. Now, during this pandemic, people are, and you can blame it on the pandemic. You can also blame it on the woke movement. I feel like a lot of people have put sports entertainment almost at the back pages, okay? It's not a major thing that, you have to see what's going on in the sports world. And also with the access of social media, you could get your information on what's going on in the sports world and sports news instantly, instead of just waiting for them to debate about them, or, a Sports Center update, or Fox Sports 1. I forgot that they do that with that little bell sounder. Instead of just waiting for that, you can just easily get the topics a lot faster than waiting to what's going on with Fox Sports 1 and ESPN. And I've been on this concept, and I've been continuing hammering it in on video after video after video of sports entertainment has become a niche type of entertainment. It's not a favorite. It's not the thing that's going to gravitate at the front page. It's something that is closer to the back end of the page, and you can blame the pandemic or the woke movement, how a lot of people are sort of turned off at sports nowadays. Okay, I'm just telling you, and I'm reading the tea leaves from a lot of people that has a problem with sports today. And it could be the athletes, it could be sports entertainment in general, it could be the owners, but whatever you want to blame it on, the pandemic or the woke movement, I feel like a lot of people are turned off to sports. Okay, it's not a rabid fan base no more, and it's not contagious anymore. And the access of social media, you can access sports news and sports topics a lot faster than waiting for your favorite host show to come up for them to tell you about it and for them to give you their opinions about it. Okay? As far as this goes with Brandon Marshall, Fox Sports 1 would love for him to resign, but only at their terms. And I'm pretty sure that could have been said for Brandon Marshall. A lot of people are talking about he really didn't fit over there at First Things First. There were topics that he was long-winded about. There were topics that, you know, he was not aware of. A lot of people felt like it was hit and miss with Brandon Marshall, particularly when he would debate alongside, Nick Wright or Kevin Wiley. It was sort of kind of off. Now, the replacement as of right now for Brandon Marshall is Chris Broussard, which, chemistry-wise, it's a fit. All right. But normally with these types of shows, you want an ex-athlete to, highlight the show. And First Things First it always had a journalist and an ex-athlete with Nick Wright and Chris Carter. Nick Wright and Brandon Marshall. Nick Wright and Chris Broussard. I just don't see, even though chemistry-wise, it's going to balance out, it's going to blend, it's going to move a lot better. I still feel like they still need an athlete, next athlete from NFL, or, maybe switch gears and do an athlete from the NBA. I'm not too sure about the MLB or the NHL, a former athlete there. But I do feel like the popular leagues are going to be the NFL and the NBA. A lot of people identify to these athletes, particularly ex-athletes, and they're going to know their names. But and I'm not to say people won't know a major star or an ex-athlete from Major League Baseball or the NHL. I'm just saying a lot of people would rather prefer for them to go to those other two leagues because they're more popular to the general audience. But anyway, to me, I feel like they're going to go back to that format. But I also feel like it's almost the beginning of the end of First Things First. Okay? Their ratings are not the same like they were with Chris Carter and Nick Wright. And I'm not here to say that when Chris Carter left, all the attendance, all the audience left alongside Chris Carter. It's just been a downward spiral for First Things First. Now, a lot of people are going to hit the comment section and they're going to say they're huge fans of First Things First. And they're going to tell you, actually, it got better when they got Brandon Marshall. They're going to tell you all of this stuff. But if all you have to do is just look at the ratings and just look at the shows that you see now versus a year, 2-3 years down the road, they're just like two different types of shows. It's missing something. I'm not going to say First Things First is bad, but I'm just saying it's just missing something. And it's just not hitting like it used to be back in the day. Now, a quick side note, I do feel like Jenna Wolfe is their best moderator on any of these shows of Fox Sports 1. That's just my opinion. And I feel like you should put the best with the best. I feel like Jenna Wolfe should pair up and be the new moderator for Undisputed. Okay? And I feel like Jenna Wolfe would have better input, better value if she was with Undisputed, pair alongside her and Shannon Sharp. And I feel like that show will be it's already good. It will be better, particularly if you compare Jenna Wolfe to Jenny Taft. I don't have no issues with her. With Jenny, I think she's doing a good job over there at Undisputed, but she is not, when you compare her to Jenna Wolfe, there's no competition. You can't compare those two. Obviously, it'll be an upgrade if they put Jenna Wolfe as the new moderator at Undisputed. I'm just throwing my 2 cents out there for that. If they do cancel First Things First, because you also have to look at it at a whole, and you have to look at everything at a whole. And when you look at these sports networks, they've been taking hits with their advertisement, with their viewership, with their subscribers. Not a lot of people are, tuning into these shows like they used to 10, 20 years ago. All right. Technology has done advance. Information, you can get information much faster. It processes much faster. And you don't have to wait for these shows to go live on air. Time these shows go live on air, you already know what's going on in the sports world. Okay. You done pretty much gotten everyone's opinion before you even have to wait for First Things First, Undisputed, First Take, ESPN Radio, Fox Sports 1 Radio, wherever you get your information from. I feel like this is the old model of sports information, and it just can't compete with social media and the advancement of technology. It just can't. And I feel like a lot of people are not paying for satellite and cable television no more. Because why do that when you have internet and you have your smartphone and you can get this information much faster? Plus, a lot of these shows are clipped on YouTube. You can go to their official channel, or you can go to anyone's homemade channel, and you can watch a whole show of First Take, Undisputed, First Things First, or the highlights of those shows if you're interested in them. Okay? So I feel like, and I've been saying Sports Network is starting slowly but surely to fall on the back pages, similar to like local television. I don't know if a lot of you guys watch your local shows, your local news, and your local news is going to highlight the local news or the weather. If it's severe weather, the weather is going to get the first spot. Then your local news, and then they'll sprinkle in what's going on in the world. Then they'll do weather again, and then almost at the end of the show, they do a quick 2-3 minute sports update of local sports and what's going on with sports around the world. They don't really put no opinions, no thoughts behind it. They just blur out what's going on, and then the news, your local news, is over with. Okay, that's where sports entertainment is falling. Okay, and it's becoming a niche type of concept. Now, I know a lot of people are not going to believe what I just got through saying, but I just want to hammer this home. And I've been saying it on a lot of videos. Sports entertainment isn't the same like it once was 20 years ago. Okay, so a lot of these networks are scrambling and they're downsizing. Okay, due to the pandemic, due to the woke movement, whatever side you want to blame, those are the reasons why a lot of these sports networks are downsizing. Now, I know a lot of people are also going to say, well, what about TNT Sports? Their ratings are going through the roof. Everybody watch inside of the NBA. Here's a caveat to that. TNT, the channel, is not strictly focused and exclusively focused on sports. It's focused on movies. It's focused on television shows, original shows for TNT, and yes, TNT Sports. You don't watch Inside the NBA all year long at TNT if you still pay satellite and cable. Okay, if you watch TNT, there are other programming that's going on TNT that has nothing to do with sports. Two, when you look at Inside the NBA, they have the best pregame format of host. You got Kenny Smith, you got Charles Barkley, you got Shaquille O'Neal, and you got, oh my God, I forgot his name, Ernie. Yeah, I think his name is Ernie. You got you got that staple there, and that's the best lineup. It's a better lineup than what ESPN can throw out there, even with their heavy hitters such as Stephen A. Smith. It's even a better lineup than what Fox Sports 1 can do. Even Fox Sports 1 pregame of football, Sunday pregame football, can't compete with what they're doing over there at inside the NBA. Okay, so sports has done downsized due to the pandemic or due to the woke movement, however, or due to a lot of fans are being turned off by a lot of these athletes, particularly a lot of these athletes that speak their minds, speak their thoughts, speak their opinions. A lot of these people are turned off with the league itself. You know, whatever your issue is, that's the reason why you no longer keep sports on the front burner, and sports has now slowly creeped behind the back burner, and that's what's going on. A lot of these networks are downsizing. A lot of these networks are, asking people that already have been signed to contracts to take pay cuts. And if they don't want to take a pay cut, they just remove them or just wait until their contract is up and do not resign them. And if they do resign them, they sign for ridiculously less money than their other contract. Okay, that's why a lot of people are moving elsewhere. Okay, but yeah, with Brandon Marshall, I think he's going to do fine over there with Jada Pinkett Smith and the producers over there. I feel like it's going to be a good show. Even though the article did not say this, I still feel like this show is going to be exclusively for Facebook, which is another good thing. Facebook has a lot of great programming over there. They got Jada Pinkett Smith, Red Table Talk. They got Tom Brady. And now they're going to have Brandon Marshall over there. Facebook is doing some, slowly but surely doing small things that's equating into major things for Facebook. And like I said, if you look at ESPN, Fox Sports 1, and what they've been doing for the past year, 2 years, they've been downsizing. They've been getting rid of people left or right. So it's not an ESPN thing. It's not only exclusive to the worldwide leader of sports. It's affecting everyone in sports entertainment. But yeah, that's all I got for today's video. Guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. It's your boy. I'm up out of here. Deuces.